Luke chapter 20. And it came to be in one of the days while he was teaching the people in the consecrated site, he and the well announcing learning ones, the archpriest, stood on up, and the scribes together with the preceders, and said to him, saying, To us, in what kind of authority do you do this? Or what is the one giving you this authority? But answering, he said to him, the one asking, Also I, yea, I will ask you in regards to a word, and say it to me. The baptism of John, was it out of heaven or out of human? But they considered together and sang to themselves, So if we say out of heaven, he will talk, Wherefore did you not faith him? But if we say out of human, all the people will downstone us, for they have been made compliant that John was a prophet. And they answered that they had not perceived from where it was. In answering, he said to them, So I, yea, I also will not say to you, in what kind of authority I do this. But he, Origen, began to say to the people this parable. A human planted a vineyard and leased it to land workers and traveled away for an adequately much time. And in the appointed term, he dispatched a slave to the land workers so that they may give him from the proceeds of the vineyard. But beating him, the land workers dispatched out him away empty. And he set to send an ulterior slave, but also beating that one and disvaluing him, they dispatched out him similarly away empty. And he set to send a third one, but wounding him, they drove also this one out. But the Lord of the vineyard said, What should I do? I will send my beloved son. They will be equally shy with me on account of this one. But having perceived him, the land workers over-considered, thoroughly saying to one another, This one is the law according allotee. Come hither. We should slay him, so that the law according allotment may become ours. And having driven him out outside of the vineyard, they slew him. What hence will the Lord of the vineyard do to them? He will come and wholly loosen away these, and will give the vineyard to others. But those hearing this said, May it not come to be. But he, looking in at them, said, What is hence this having been written regarding the stone which the dwell-building ones examined away? This one was made to become the head of the corner. Every one having fallen on the stone will be shattered, but on whom as it were it falls, it will pulverize him. And in the same hour the archpriests and the scribes sought to drive on the hands on him, and they were made to fear in regards to the people, for they knew that he had said this parable to them. And as scrutinizing him, they dispatched eavesdroppers, who when asked regarding themselves were answering to be righteous ones, so that they may take on an incriminating word from him, in order to give beside him up to the Origen beings and the authority of the leader. And they asked on him, saying, Teacher, we perceive that you say and teach correctly, and you accept not the face, but on by truth you teach the way of God. Is it allowed for us to give taxes to Caesar or not? But downthinking in regards to their cunning, he said to them, Show me a denarius. But they showed him one. And he said, Whose image and written thereon has it? But they said, Caesar's. But he said to them, Give that of Caesar to Caesar, and that of God to God. And they were not strong opposite the people to take on something concerning the talk, and marveling on account of his answer, they were silent. But some of the Sadducees, those saying that there is no resurrection, coming, they asked on him, saying, Teacher, Moses wrote to us, so someone's brother deadens away, having a wife, and this one was childless, that his brother should take the woman, and let seed arise out to his brother. Hence the following question. There were 7 brothers, and the foremost one, taking a woman, deadened away, childless. Also the second. Also the third took her, and so all 7 not did they leave children, and deadened away. Hereafter the woman also deadened away. Now whose wife will she be in the resurrection? For the 7 had her as wife. And Jesus said to them, The sons of this aeon marry and are given in marriage. But those becoming deemed accordingly worthy to attain to that aeon and the resurrection out of the died ones, they neither marry or are they given in marriage. For neither are they able to still deaden away in the future, for they are equal to angels, and they are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But that the died ones waken, even Moses disclosed on at the thorn bush, as he calls the Lord the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. But God is not the God of the died ones, but for this cause of the living, for all live to him. But answering, some of the scribes said to him, Teacher, ideally you have said this. For they dared not ask on him, yea, no more. But he said to them, How come that some say that Christ is David's son? For David himself says in the book scroll of Psalms, The Lord said to my Lord, Have seat out of those at my right hand, till, as it were, I set your enemies as footstool of your feet. Hence David calls him Lord, and how is he then his son? But in that all the people were hearing this, they said to his learning ones, Attend to away from the scribes, those wanting to walk in robes, and befriending greetings in the marketplaces, and foremost chairs in the synagogues, and foremost reclination places at the suppers. They who down eat the houses of widows, and pray with far-winded pretext, these will take abundantly augmented judgment.